So, good day, everyone. So, I am going to report about animal studies, only the proponents and their notable writings. So, I will continue the report of Lada Mariand and Figaro Michel End. So, first, we have here the proponents. So, I only have four proponents. First, we will discuss Carrie Wheel. Is he um, is a prominent scholar in animal studies and a professor of Wesleyan University. She was born in 1959. Her work explores how humans represent, relate to, and think about animals, drawing from literatures, philosophy, and feminism and post-humanism. So, her contribution. So, in thinking animals. So, this is her book. Will explores how animal studies challenges traditional human-animal binaries, and she critiques excessive anthropomorphism. So when we say anthropomorphism, attributing human traits to animals. So we're also questioning against the complete denial of animal subjectivity. Her work calls for a balanced, ethical, and imaginative narrative approach to animals in philosophy, literature, and culture. So next we have here the Donna Haraway. So she was born in 1944 in Denver, Colorado, USA. She was burned in 1959, earned a PhD in biology from Yale University in 1972. Then she is known for her work in a feminist theory, science and technology studies, animal studies, and post-humanism. So, um, the contributions of um, uh, Donna. We have here the interspecies relationality. So Haraway focuses on how humans and animals co-evolve and coexist, especially in domestic, scientific, and social contexts. She introduces also the idea that animals are not objects or mere symbols, but partners in meaning making and companionship. So, second, she critic of human exceptionalism. She questions that the belief that humans are superior to animals, encouraging a view of mutual respect and ethical responsibility across species. So the third one is companion species concept. In contrast to the cyborg of her earlier work, Haraway introduces the idea of the companion species, animals like dogs who share lives with humans. She argues that these relationships are central to understanding ethics, identity, and ecology. So next we have here the ethics of care and responsibility. So she stresses responsibility, so the capacity to respond ethically and attentively to others, including animals. Yes, animals. So her work invites humans to think how they care for, live with, and represent animals. So we have here Jacques Derrida. So she's a founder of deconstruction. So deconstructionism, yes, a critical approach that analyzes and disrupts traditional concepts of meaning, language, and text. Earned a PhD in biology from Yale University in 1972. So she made a significant contributions to philosophy, literary theory, and animal studies. So and then, particularly with his lecture turned book, The Animal That Therefore I Am, in 2008, which examines the human animal divide and questions the marginalizations of animal in philosophy. So Derrida's work it challenges fixed binaries such as the human-animal, presence and absence, and invites reconsiderations of ethics, language, and subjectivity. So the key contributions of Jacques Derrida. And wait. That's all for Jacques Derrida. We will discuss. So sorry for um, the mistake. This one is already been discussed earlier. So Jacques Derrida, I will discuss her notable works and later on. So Carrie Wolf, so this is the fourth one. So, born 1959, United States, PhD in English, currently a professor of English at Rice University, known for his contributions to animal studies, both post-humanism and critical theory. So contribution of Carrie Wolf, wealthy, um, challenges, especially speciesism, discrimination based on a species, and critiques how animals are excluded from ethics, politics, and culture. So here, Curry uses post-structuralist theory, especially Derrida and Foucault, to rethink the boundaries between humans and animals. So Welfare promotes a post-humanist perspective that sees animals not as others but as participants in shared system of meaning and value. So we will discuss now their notable works, their notable writings. Um, so, Thinking Animals, Why Animal Studies Now, so by Carrie Wells. So, published in 2012 by Columbia University Press, this work is a foundational text in the interdisciplinary field of animal studies, offering a critical examination of human-animal relationship through the lenses of literature, philosophy, ethics, and cultural theory. So in this book, so Carrywell explores how humans conceptualize and interact with animals, challenging traditional boundaries between species. She critiques also excessive anthropomorphism, the attribution of human characteristics. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Um, so So, the book Thinking Animals Why Animal Studies Now by Carville, um, she critiques excessive anthropomorphism, the attribution of human characteristics to animals, while also resisting the complete denial of animal subjectivity. Will advocates for a balanced narrative approach that acknowledges animals as sentient beings with their own perspective without merely projecting human experiences onto them. So the next book is When Species Meet in 2008 by Donna Haraway. So this book rather explores the complex, intimate relationship between human and animals, especially focusing on companion species like dogs who live closely with people. So, Harvey challenges the idea of human dominance and promotes an ethic of coexistence, respect, and responsibility. So, the ability to respond meaningfully and ethically. So next we have here The Animal That Therefore I Am in 2008 by Jacques Derrida. So literary animal studies has extremely focus. And next, we have the Animal Rights, 2003, Kerry Wolf. In Animal Rights, Kerry Wolf critiques how Western culture and theory have historically excluded animals from ethical and political concern. He argues that speciesism, the belief in human superiority over animals, is deeply embedded in literature, philosophy, and cultural practices, even among progressive, progressive thinkers. So it critiques speciesism, the belief that humans are superior to animals, and shows how this idea is embedded in cultural practices, political system, and even progressive philosophies. So Wolfe examines how literary texts and philosophical traditions construct a boundary between human and animals that justifies animal exploitation. So he proposes a shift toward a post-humanism, a way of thinking, and dismantles rigid uh, distinction between human and animals and calls for a more inclusive and ethical framework. So when you say the um, animal rights is about how our culture often treats animals as inferior and voiceless, and how we can use critical theory to challenge that mindset. So, what we invite us to reconsider what it means to be human and how we can build a more ethical relationship with human. Uh, I I mean with the animals, one that doesn't rely on domination or exclusion. So that's all for my report. Thank you for listening. Thank you.